Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the formal part. We formally start the annual general meeting. Once again, welcome to everyone and many of our past presidents as well. Lovely to see you all here. We have no formal apologies as the first item on the agenda sent to us, so all who are here, unless somebody wants to register an apology with us. No, we don't. Thank you. That leads us on to the second item, which is the minutes of the AGM last year, held on the 12th of October 2010, of which these have been already circulated. There are no outstanding actions, but can I ask you for agreement as an accurate record of those meetings? Could you please indicate with your cards those in favour? Okay, and we have proxy votes as well. Were there any issues there, Richard? Okay, so that's passed as a true and accurate record of the meeting of the AGM held on the Tuesday, the 12th of October, 2010. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the outgoing President's speech or address. So I think I'll pass on to myself. It's interesting, I got up this morning and it felt like something between graduation and being fired, so I'm not quite sure which one it is. But I can't believe it's been a year since I stood up here and made that incoming speech. And I think if you'd give me just a few moments of indulgence just to go back over the year, certainly started with an interesting time when the Chamber Business Awards were snowed off, and then when we thawed back in, we actually had a greater turnout than we anticipated, but left us with a little slight loss, which we've more than made up for since then. I particularly remember the confidence of the Sheffield Cathedral in allowing us to do the President's Dinner, and that was a great night, particularly capped by £4,500 going to the Archers project as well. So thank you for all your support there. The re-emergence of the Chamber Charity of the Year, and we have Kickstart as our charity, and I'd like to plug the fact that some of us are going to run the Great Yorkshire Run on the 9th of October for Kickstart. We'll be emailing you for your commercial support, and we'll be doing that in fast times, and we're all training hard, so please do support us, and it's for a great charity, Kickstart. We've established many business forums in the sense that these are the ones that our communities wanted us to get involved with, and some are very much influencing the local enterprise partnership. And many of us are all sitting here wondering how the LEPs and the lepers will progress. So let's hope we're part of the solution. All I would suggest to you is that, as is this chamber, as is the LEP, it's not them, it's us. So if we want to shape what we want our economy to look like, how we want our local authority to perform and interact, then it's down to us. It's down to the energy and the effort that we put in. No one else. We're not victims. There's not someone out there tapping us on our shoulders. It's up to us. And I think there's a real opportunity and a real buzz about collaborating in an effective way. So I would welcome you, and it's a call to action to actually get involved. I don't think this city's been overlooked by the coalition government either. We've had significant funding into the region, the enterprise zones, good or bad, whatever they may cause, but we have the enterprise zones. We have successes in the regional growth fund bids, and there's another tranche coming out. And the rumour is we've done pretty well again. We've had the Advanced Manufacturing Park, £200 million into that area is significant, and also one of the first university technical colleges as well. So I don't think that we've been seen as enemies. I think we're seen as friends of the state, and particularly with the visit of Her Majesty's Treasury last week, the growth team, of which there were 10, and none of them were over 5'9", It was an interesting group of people who came to listen about what we were doing, and they were impressed. The companies which we visited were all investing capital. They were manufacturing, they were at the front end of technology in whatever industry they were in, and they were doing it out of their own coffers. So it's quite an entrepreneurial spirit we were showing them. As for the Chamber, well, it's been a turnaround year. I'm sure you're pleased to hear that. Mike Shepherd, our treasurer, will be coming up here. Remember last year, following him, it was like watching tumbleweed go across the desert, thinking, how do you follow that? But there will be much improved results, and we've really had to strip out costs and look at how and what we do for the benefit of our members, rather than as a chamber, as an institution. And I'd like to pay tribute to our Executive Director, Richard Wright, whose energy and leadership has been very important, and also to the fact that he'll be with us for at least another couple of years, and really pleased to see that. I'd also like to add our thanks to the staff of the Chamber, who have been superb. They've gone through some turbulent times. We've reduced our staffing teams from over 60 down to just over 30, but they've stayed loyal, they're even more focused, and they're very driven, and they're led well. So I thank them for making our year a good year. I think the collaborative nature of the way we're working is critical, particularly with Barnsley and Rotherham Chamber, with Doncaster Chamber and North Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire Chambers, we're working well. With the Cutlass Company, with the local authorities, with the Federation of Small Businesses and the Sheffield Small Business Club. We're no longer trying to be somebody exclusive. We're trying to be inclusive and finding out how we can benefit and complement each other. Without that, we're not going to succeed in an environment of reducing resources. So we're keen to work together. But to be that city of European distinction, I don't think we need to fool ourselves of just how far we need to go. We're on the right track, but there's a lot further and a lot more we can do and need to do. And it was interesting, the question about our marketing. I really do feel that we need to be better at marketing what we do across the region, and particularly through Sheffield, and there'll be some interesting points of debates there. I had a visitor on Thursday and Friday. We took him round the city. He was the chief executive of the Sri Lankan Commonwealth Games bid, and they are building from scratch, just as Sheffield did 20 years ago. He was stunned by the economic regeneration of this city and the part that sport, leisure and tourism had played. But it was a tremendously well-kept secret, and he'd wished he'd been here 2 years ago. We can be proud, but there's a lot more we need to do. The entrepreneurial spirit continues to burn brightly in the city, where the flavour of the month with the British Chambers of Commerce. The British Chamber of Commerce is the flavour of the month with government. So we're really in our moment as we speak. But equally, if you're wondering what that statue is all about as you walked in and so on, this is something that we're promoting the debate about. That is to depict where we came from in terms of a figure of steel made out of stainless steel. And in 2013, we will celebrate 100 years of Mr. Brearley inventing stainless steel. And the potential is for our own iconic sculpture on the side of the M1, 40 metres in the air, to replicate, nay, improve on the Angel of the North. So there's a debate going around about what piece of sculpture, iconic sculpture, will be there to represent where we came from and where we will go. There's that, and there's some other pieces of artwork, and it'll be a debate coming around the city. So we're stimulating that debate right now. To end, I'd like to make some thank yous and acknowledgements. First of all, to the immediate past president, which is Nick Tovey, who will leave the board. This is probably one of his last functions. Nick, thank you for your support for the last 4 years, and he will continue in the role of working collaboratively with the other chambers of commerce and leading that area. So thank you. He's been a great friend, and we hope you stay engaged with us. Also to Paul Jagger, who, a former past president, also leaves, but I do believe he will be an ally as he moves working closely with Barnsley and Rotherham Chamber of Commerce, where he may become a vice president along that route. So collaboration is working really well. Feels as if we're planting people. And to Nick Williams. Nick, who has been with the Chamber for nearly 30 years in one role or another, steps down as the chairman of our council. And he's been chairman of that council for well in excess of 20 years. So it's a tremendous achievement, and I thank you, Nick. He's been our sage and continuity. He remains as a non-exec chairman of the board, and that's vital as people move on. So thank you very much to Nick, and could we all thank them publicly for that? Thank you. Just a short thanks also, though she's not here today, to my wife Joanna, who supported me throughout the year. I've got an 18-month baby in my back room, as well as 2 other kids, so it's been quite a journey for me this year and for Joanna. And so also to my fellow directors at MLS, who has enabled me to actually indulge myself in this year. It's been their tremendous support that's enabled me to do this role as president. I'd also like to thank CVC for supporting us. I'm sure there'll be other thanks as we come along. They've been a great ally, but supporting us here today. And to Herman Beck, also a past president, for hosting us here. It's always a pleasure to come to this particular venue. So that's my year done. So it's thank you from me, and it's been a privilege to serve. Thank you.